You want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about sports in the state of Michigan? You've got the truth, all right. Can you handle the truth? Find out right now on the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast, the show that detects and provides truth, research, and statistics about the Tigers, Lions, Red Wings, Pistons, Wolverines, and Spartans. Subscribe to its YouTube channel at the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast and listen to it in audio form wherever you get your podcasts. Follow it on X, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at Michigan_Truth, and like its Facebook page. Also check out our website, the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast.code80x.me, and donate to the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast for Autism on GoFundMe, and know the truth. I'm Taylor Phillips. We're talking Lions, Wolverines, Spartans football, and Red Wings. We're not talking Pistons in this episode. And we're not talking college basketball because nothing happened involving any of our basketball teams. The Pistons, Wolverines, and Spartans men's basketball teams, just football and hockey. No update on Tarek Skubal, but so that's all we're going to talk about. That's all I'm going to talk about. So first off, again, this podcast, our disclaimer tells you this podcast is hosted by someone who has autism, which is me. If you're arrogant and disrespectful and insufferable, don't even bother comment. Keep your thoughts to yourself and never tell the host what to do. Okay? I'll do what I want on this podcast, even if it's only for a hobby. So, the Philadelphia Eagles edged the Detroit Lions 16-9 as seen on NBC Sunday Night Football. A lot of Jared Goff's throws were way too low as I open the share screen on StreamYard. Instagram is still not multi-streaming for some reason. But anyway, 14 of 37 for Jared Goff. 14 of 37. That is terrible. Goff is better than this. 255 passing yards, including a touchdown pass to Jameson Williams and a tipped interception. Yeah, I said tipped. Goff only took 2 sacks, but allowed a lot of pressures because the offensive line went back to being totally weak and allowed way too many pressures and a whopping total of 10 pass defenses by the Eagles' defensive linemen and tacklers. By the Eagles' defensive front 7. Amon-Ra St. Brown, only 2 catches for just 42 receiving yards out of 12 targets. 2 catches out of 12 targets. That is so uncharacteristic of Amon-Ra St. Brown as well. The offensive line is still weak. They didn't look weak in DC a week before that, before this game. But also, Dan Campbell's play calling was terrible. The offense went 3 for 13 on 3rd down and 0 for 5 on 4th down. Dan Campbell was way too arrogant to even consider taking field goal points. You gotta put points on the board. I'm serious about this. And there was one 4th down play where Brock Wright, one of their tight ends, while Sam Laporta was out due to injury for at least 4 weeks with a back injury, Brock Wright was wide open on one of those 4th down plays, but Goff threw off course to a well-covered Amon-Ra St. Brown at the back of the end zone in the second half, which is one of those 12 targets. St. Brown had no chance, but 12 targets, wow. That is insanely terrible. Just insanely terrible. Quite a few drops by Amon-Ra St. Brown besides that one 4th down play. Jake Bates missed his extra point attempt wide right after that Jamison Williams touchdown. But he nailed a 54-yard field goal with 1:58 left in the fourth quarter. On defense, the front seven stopped the Eagles' tush push once, but that doesn't mean a thing if their offense can't click much. But before that, the Lions punted the ball when down 10 points with only a little over 5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Why is that? I mean, you can't just... I mean, you got 3 timeouts, yeah, plus the 2-minute warning, but when it comes down to like the end of the game, when you're down 2 with a little over 5 minutes to go, even though you have all your 3 timeouts left and the 2-minute warning, you got to go for it. You have to go for it. You got nothing to lose in this situation. You really do. Because you don't have much time to spare while kicking it. But the Lions' next possession, they got the field goal, but the Lions actually stopped the Eagles on that 4th and 1 tush push to get the ball back on downs. Which I don't know why the Eagles. The only thing that shocks me is the Eagles going for it on 4th down. I understand the tush push has always worked until then. It's still good. I'm sure it'll continue to succeed. But they weren't going. That was deep in their own territory. That gives the Lions a break, but the Lions still couldn't get a touchdown out of it. They didn't even gain any yards on that drive, on that field goal scoring drive. As we take a look at the penalties, the Eagles were penalized more than the Lions, 9 penalties to 5 for 78 penalty yards to 48 penalty yards. 148 rushing yards to 74 rushing yards, but the Lions outgained them in passing yards 243 to 124. Total yards 317 to 272. It's almost even, but you've got to capitalize on those drives. And I know the offensive line is weak, but it all starts with the play calling. And I didn't even hear Dan Campbell blame himself for the terrible play calling. But then again, it could be that, or just the offensive line being weak again by itself. But the Lions have fallen to 3rd place in the NFC North. It's still tight. It's a 3-way race for the NFC North division. The Lions, Packers, and Bears. The Bears are in 1st place. The Packers have a tie. Bears 7-3-0. Packers 6-3-1. Lions 6-4. Vikings are not making it. I'm pretty sure 4-6. So that's out of the question. So let's play a little devil's advocate. Let's do a little devil's advocate segment, shall we? Fans and media make such a big deal about the pass interference call on Rock Ya-Sin, but that doesn't excuse anything in that contest. It doesn't guarantee a game that the Lions would have scored a game-time touchdown the way the way their offense played and the way the play calling was, the way how weak the offensive line was. Again, as I mentioned, this is another example of why rowdy Homer fans and local sports media are a bunch of one-sided, naive, imbecilic, sycophantic, insufferable, and comical sheep. Even if the Lions did get it back, there was most definitely no guarantee that they would have scored a game-tying touchdown anyway, because they couldn't even stand a chance the way they were playing, despite what anyone considers any momentum, and that includes that soft-ass marshmallow urinating tree, that little Bo Peep Broncos vlogger Brandon Perna from That's Good Sports, and even Tom Grossi, who always keeps bashing the officials for the Lions, bashing the officials for the Lions' sake of it all. There was no momentum to top it all off. Again, the offense was terrible the entire game and only settled for one touchdown and one field goal. Completely inexcusable and unacceptable. Too many mistakes by the offense. Be better for it. Shape up your O-line, redevelop Jared Goff's throwing abilities, and make and call better plays. Work on all of these when you return home to Ford Field against the 2-9 New York Giants forthcoming. I don't even need to analyze or preview that game, except Giants quarterback Jackson Dart is out for the year due to a severe injury. The Lions deserve this loss and fall to third place in the NFC North Division standings, as I mentioned before. No excuses. End of story. Play better and be better for it. That's my devil's advocate segment. Jeez, oh Pete. The Wolverines world beat. Michigan edges Northwestern 24-22. At least there's that. Number 18, Michigan, the Wolverines. Dominic Savada kicked in the game-winning 31-yard field goal, but finished 1 for 3 on in field goal attempts. 5 turnovers by the offensive unit. Yeah, 5. That's not on Sharon Moore. That is not on Sharon Moore. I'm going to turn the share screen on if you're watching on YouTube. Take a look at the team stats. 5 turnovers right there. Only 4 penalties for 24 yards. Northwestern 7 penalties for 55 yards. Yeah, 496 total yards. Oh my goodness. To 245 for Northwestern. Michigan just outgained Northwestern, passing 280 to 184 and rushing 216 to just 61 rushing yards. The defensive front stopped the Northwestern run game very, very well. Jordan Marshall got hurt but appeared to be okay. And the defense limited Northwestern's offense to 2 for 12 on third down. That's incredible. It was just enough to give Zavada a chance to win it, and he did as time expired. Just from 31 yards out. Finished 1 for 3. The first field goal attempt was a fluke. The second one was from 60 yards out. That was damn tough. That was too damn tough for Zavada to make. He missed that. He missed both of those wide right. So, yeah, Zavada's better than that. Anyway, but yeah, just got to aim. Just got to aim better. And he did with his game-winning 31-yard field goal as time expired. Next game at Maryland Saturday at 4 on the Big Ten Network. And then, of course, the Spartans span the college football tank bowl. The Penn State Nittany Lions beat the Michigan State Spartans 28-10. Let me take a sip of my water here. Oh, man. Alessio Milivojevic. Let me share the screen again. Let me dig up the box score. Oops, hold on. I almost lost the screen on by doing that. But anyway, Judas Priest. All right, now let me get the screen sharing going on. Milivojevic, take a look at the rushing. Minus 20 rushing yards. Oh, God. Man, oh, man. On 6 carries. 6 carries for minus 20 rushing yards. His longest was positive 16, but he must have lost a lot of yards besides that. An average of negative 3.3 rushing yards per carry. 17 of 27, 100, but only for 128 yards. A 15.1 quarterback rating. Oh, my God. Michigan State does not have a quarterback. It really does. The Spartans really don't. And that's why they've lost 7. That's part of why they lost 7 straight and fall to 3-7 and 0-7 in the Big Ten. Penn State 4-6, 1-6 in the Big Ten. But this is what this Milivojevic wasn't even trying many times to throw deep to any of his receivers downfield. That's part of what makes this entire Michigan State offensive unit overall so boring, of course. 7 straight losses for the Spartans. It's unacceptable. And then as the wing wheel turns, the Red Wings blew a 4-1 lead and lost to the Buffalo Sabres 5-4 in overtime. The Sabres last place in the Eastern Conference. Patrick Kane scored career goal 495, number 495, and got 17:09 of ice time. Just didn't start overtime for some reason. I understand ASP is an offensive defenseman, but he still isn't producing, which is why Todd McClellan should not have started him in the overtime period. Unless you want to start Kane with ASP in overtime, which is and Larkin. Kane's your usual hero in overtime. Still your usual hero in overtime. And defenseman Simon Edvinson and Travis Hamonic were also awful on defense. Alex DeBrincat and Lucas Raymond had played very well. And they proved it again in the 2-1 win over the New York Rangers in regulation at Madison Square Garden. The Rangers are usually good. They just haven't been in the NHL standings. But that's part of why the Red Wings won. Lucas Raymond scored the game-winning goal with 3:47 left in the third period. Alex DeBrincat got the first goal. Decided to let that shot go. And then that post-game brawl, of course, quick went after Appleton, shooting at the empty net just for target practice. Dylan Larkin came to interfere. Both hockey benches start to clear for an all-out brawl. That tells me the NHL should realign its Eastern Conference divisions. The Red Wings are back. With that win, the Red Wings are back in second place in the not-so-Atlantic division at 11-7-1 with 23 points. So, like Kyle Busch pointed out, the Red Wings are a Jekyll and Hyde team. They're just not consistent. And may I add what Jekyll and Hyde means? It's just not consistent. It just isn't. So the Red Wings' next game is back at home against the Seattle Kraken. The Kraken are really good. Let's take a look at the NHL standings before we wrap things up here. Standings. I'm going to share the screen. There you go. Let's take a look at the Western Conference. Yes, yeah, first off, the Red Wings again, like I mentioned, 11-7-1, 23 points. Second place in the not-so-Atlantic Division. Seattle Kraken, third place, 9-4-5. That's a 500 record. A point percentage of 639, a win percentage of 500, 9-9. Buffalo Sabres 6-12, total 6-8-4, 16 points. Last place in the East. The Red Wings should have beaten them. They should have routed them. Win the freaking third period for God's sake. But Seattle Kraken in like a four-way race with the Vegas Golden Knights in the wild card, 22, 23 for the Kraken, 23 for the Ducks, 24 for the Kings. Jesus. Pacific Division lead is up for grabs. The Kings have caught all the way up. The Edmonton Oilers at 22 points. Vancouver Canucks, 20 points. San Jose Sharks, 19. It's all up for grabs, man. But Calgary, 13 points. 5-12-3, 5-15. Oh, man. The Flames suck. Period. So, what did we learn? The Lions offense went back to being weak. Campbell's play calling, which led to karma with that defensive pass interference call, which served the Lions right, because it still didn't guarantee the Lions would have scored would have tied the game with a touchdown, because their offense was awful. And it's a lot better than this. Had the Lions played a lot better, then none of this would have happened. I explained this just recently in my Devil's Advocate segment. The Wolverines offense still needs to work on itself. Of course, their defense gave Savada a chance to win it, and he did. Spartans, they're just horrible, and they keep finding ways to lose. The Red Wings, like Kyle Busch and I pointed out, Jekyll and Hyde, not consistent, but they got a big win in Madison Square Garden. The Rangers are usually good, but this year they haven't been. So that's all we've learned in this episode of the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast. I'm Taylor Phillips. Subscribe to its YouTube channel at the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast. Like its videos and turn on all notifications on the bell icon. Click or tap on live to find its latest full episodes and check out its shorts videos. Also watch it live and follow it on Twitch at Michigan Sports Truth. Listen to it in audio form on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music /Audible, CastBox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, and Gio7. Also join its supporters club on Spreaker, just $2 a month. And on social media, follow it on X, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at Michigan_Truth, and on Reddit at u/Michigan _Truth. u/Michigan_Truth. Also like its Facebook page, facebook.com/Michigan Sports Truth. And on Patreon at patreon.com/Michigan Sports Truth. Our website, the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast code ADX.me. And donate to the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast for autism on GoFundMe. The goal is $2,400. Statewide business endorsements go to Cops and Donuts, Grand Traverse Pie Company, J&H Family Stores, Positive Chimney and Fireplace, Farm Bureau Insurance, Michigan's Adventure, Alpine Chocolate House, with 5 locations in Manistee, Boyne City, Gaylord, Plymouth, and Sault Ste. Marie, Hudsonville Ice Cream, Grandpa's Mini Donuts, Rally House, Michigan, and Rally House, Detroit, Tom's Food Markets, Detroit Wing Company, Simply Delightful, JR's All-Star Haircuts for Men, Tropical Touch Spa, Main Street Rocks, G's Pizzeria, Wesco, and BC Pizza. Metro Detroit area business endorsements go to the Annex Detroit Nightclub and its Annex Angels, Geno Surf, Avenue American Bistro, Mocha Donut and Boba, the Edo Ramen House Japanese Sushi Restaurant in Southfield, the Great Lakes Crossing Mall in Auburn Hills, Empire of Detroit, Modern 7 Bistro, Northville Sports Den, the Union Barber Shop in Birmingham and Ferndale, United Mobile Power Wash and Dry Ice Works in Southfield, Frothy Girl in Ortonville, Spot Truck in Dearborn and Detroit, Athletico Physical Therapy on Woodward Street in Ferndale, Detroit Pizza Company, the Blind Owl in Royal Oak. Cali tickets, call 877-225-8425 or visit calitickets.com. Reliance Pressure Washing, the Jagged Fork, Goodman-Acker PC, Northwestern Technological Institute, Green Lantern Pizza, the Pins Bowling Center in South Lyon, Impact North in Ortonville, Vitamin Shop in Auburn Hills, Legacy Family Dental Center in Dearborn, and Hodges Subaru. Let me take a sip of my water. All right. Local business endorsements go to the B4 Foundation in Ithaca, Wexford Community Credit Union in Cadillac and Lake City, Jay's Sporting Goods in Gaylord and Clare, the Front Porch in Suttons Bay, Trout Town Tavern and Eatery in Kalkaska, the El Cilantro Taco Shop in Petoskey, Bay Mills Resort and Casino in Brimley, Fuel Up Nutrition in Clare, J&S Hamburg in Traverse City and Kingsley, United Food Service Solutions in Grand Ledge, Friendly Foodies in Alpena, the Asian Buffet in Cadillac and Traverse City, Ludington Meat Company, McBain Hardware, Vandry Home Furnishings in Cadillac, Houghton Lake, Big Rapids, and Traverse City, Pearl's New Orleans Kitchen in Elk Rapids, Herman Hisson Company in Bay City, Fletcher's Pub and Texas Corners in Kalamazoo, the Michigan Theater of Jackson, Hooters in Saginaw, Anna's House in Grand Rapids, Coffee Beanery in Flushing, Merritt Speedway, Northport Pub and Grill, Northern Logistics, and Spicer's Boat City in Houghton Lake. Traverse City business endorsements go to TC Man Cave, K1 Speed, Play It Again Sports, Erica Nita of Traverse City Real Estate, Yen Yoga and Fitness inside the Delamar Resort on Front Street, Firefly Kitchen and Bars, Traverse City Fun Running, Margarita's Grill, Wellbeing with Catherine Palms, Bayview Flooring, North Coast Golf Shop, Dockside Market, and Team Bob's Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Cadillac business endorsements go to Cadillac Grill, Cadillac Nutrition, Cadillac Horizon Books, Creative Embroidery for designing the Michigan Sports Truth Podcast logo on my long sleeve shirt and t-shirt behind me, Michigan Coffee Company, Pro Quality Cleaners, Raven Social Restaurant and Brewery, Wildflower Bakery, Northern Star Event Rentals, Primo's Barbecue, Wexford Jewelers, Evolve Yoga and Fitness, Chunky Bear Coffee Roasters, The Truck Stop, Cadillac Lofts Apartments, Bigelow Supply, The Food Mafia's Let's Roll With It Rolled Ice Cream, Evergreen Resort, Tees Tanning Salon, The Pine Sports Bar and Bowling Center, Wexford Senior Care, Max Swings Indoor Golf, Blue Heron Cafe, Biner's Pizza, Cabernet Peaks, the Cadillac Party Lounge, and the Sweet Shop. And finally, Lake City business endorsements go to Cuts by Melanie, Best Well Wishes Melanie, the LC Tap House, To the Moon Bakery, Northern Auto Lab, and the Misaki Golf Club Golf Course. Until the next episode, this is Taylor Phillips signing off. Stay on the lookout and remember that we always observe and detect the truth about Michigan sports because the truth is out there and everywhere. Ta-ta, hit him with a hind. Power to the people, Baba Booey to y'all.